Hi, good day everyone. So today we're going to be doing January 2022, paper 3. Alright, so again you need your scientific calculator as well as your geometry set. Alright, okay, and please take notice of the formulas that are given. So if you don't know some formulas, they are here. Yeah. Let's look at this question. The Crusaders and Seahawks are two teams in a basketball tournament. The scale below shows the position of Crusaders C and Seahawks Club H on a map. The scale on the drawing is 1 centimeter to 400 meters. They want to determine the CH, the actual distance in kilometers. So first off, you're going to take your ruler, measure from C to H. When I measured it, I got 9 centimeters. Alright, so you're going to use it if, then, and therefore method. If 1 centimeter is 400 meters, then 9 centimeters would be 9 by 400, which is 3,600 meters. However, they want it in kilometers. So there are two ways that you can do this. We can do the if, then, and therefore, or to convert meters to kilometers, we simply divide by 1,000. Alright? But let's do the if, then, therefore. If 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer, then 1 meter would be 1 over 1,000. Therefore, 3,600 will be 1 over 1,000 multiplied by 3,600, which is 3.6 kilometers, and that would be the answer for this. Okay, so part 2 says the Greenwich Park Sports Arena is at location G, right? The venue of the tournament is on a bearing of 120 from C and 85 degrees from H. On a scale drawing above, indicate the position of G, the venue of the baseball tournament. Show all reference lines and angles. So for a question like this, I would use my protractor, and when they said the bearing of 120 from C, that means we are going to draw a straight line from C, which is your north line. You're going to line up your protractor on that north line and measure 120 degrees, which I already have done. Right, that is this line. Right, and I'm going to do the next one. They said the bearing of 85 from H. So from H, you're going to measure 85 degrees, which is here. And where these two lines intersect would be the location of where G is at. Okay, so part B says teams are given points for winning or drawing games. A win is given X points and a draw is given Y points. So if you win a game, you get an X points, and if you draw a game, you're given Y points, right? No points are given when you lose. So the Crusaders have 24 points after winning 2 games and drawing 5 games, right? And the Seahawks have 29 points after winning 3 games and drawing 4 games. Write 2 equations in X and Y to represent the information given above. So we know if you win 1 game, you're given X points. So if you win 2 games, that would be 2 multiplied by X, which is 2X. Right? And for Seahawks, they won 3 games, that would be 3 multiplied by X, which is 3X. Right? If you drew a game, you're getting Y points. So 1 game, when you draw, is Y points. So 5 games would be 5 by Y, which is 5Y. And 4 games would be 4 by Y, which is 4Y. Right? So now they told you when they won 2 games and drew 5 games, they are awarded 24 points. So we can say 2X plus 5Y is equals to 24. Same thing for those 3 games. Winning would be 3X plus 4 games that you drew, which is 4Y, would give you 29 points. And that is how you would establish this. And they said, using the matrix method, solve your 2 equations to find the number of points for winning and the number of points for draw. Right? We know winning is X and draw is Y. So basically they're telling you to solve for X and Y. And then they say show all working. So what I did is I took my equation, my simultaneous equation. Now, for your matrices method, right, you need to make sure that your x value is first and your y value is second for both equations. You cannot have one with in your first equation x is first and then y, and then in your second equation y is first and then x. We cannot do that. You have to make sure x is first and then y. Alright? So you would take your coefficients of your unknowns, which is 2, 5, 3, 4. 2, 5, 3, 4. This is how we got our 2 by 2 matrix. And then again, the first unknown in our equation, which in this case is x, is x on top, and y is at the bottom because that's the second term in our both equations, right? And what they're equal to, 24 and 29. So you have 24 on top, 29 at the bottom. All right, now whenever we're dealing with matrices, always put the order of the matrix. It's a 2 by 2 matrix. How did I get 2 by 2? It's 2 rows by 2 columns. It's always row by column, right? And for your second, for B, I call it B, it's 2 rows by 1 column. We make sure it's conformable to multiplication, meaning, right, the number of columns in your first matrix, I highlighted it, and the number of rows in your second matrix is equal, hence it's conformable. And your resultant matrix would be the number of rows in your first matrix by the number of columns in your second matrix. That's how I got a 2 by 1 here. Now, did I do it here, boy? No, not as yet. Right, so I have A multiplied by B is equals to C. So if I want to make B the subject, which is my unknowns, right, I have to carry across A. Now, in matrices, there's no such thing as division. So if we carry across A, it will be A inverse multiplied by C. Right? So to find the inverse, this is your formula. Oh my gosh, right. To find your inverse, this is the formula here. 1 over AD minus BC, which is your determinant of A. AD minus BC is your determinant of A, right? Multiplied by a adjoint, which is you interchange A and D, the position of A and the position of D, and you multiply B by C by negative 1. Alright, so that is 1 over AD by B D minus B minus CA. Alright, what you need to recognize is 2, 5, 3, 4. 2 is A, 5 is B, 3 is C, D is 4. Yeah? So now, wherever you see A, you're going to put 2. Wherever you see B, you put in 5. Wherever you see C, you put in 3. Wherever you see D, you put in 4. Alright? So I did all of that. Alright, so it would be 2 by 4 minus 5 by 3, which is 8 minus 15, which is minus 7. And I interchange the placement of 4 and 2. So 4 is this first area here, 2 is here. 5 and 3 I multiply by negative 1. So I'm going to get minus 5 and minus 3. Alright, when I multiply, when I say 8 minus 15 is minus 7. So that's 1 over minus 7 by this. We know a minus, this is a minus, and 4 is a plus. A minus and a plus is a minus. So that's how I got minus 4 over 7. A minus and a minus is a plus, so that's how I got 5 over 7. A minus and a minus again is a plus, that's how I got 3 over 7. And a minus and a plus is a minus, that's how I got minus 2 over 7. Now, we said that B is equal to A inverse by C. Alright? So, remember we said B is equals to A inverse by C. What you're going to do, always when we have to multiply matrices, guys, always do this, right? That is, you check the orders. So the first one, which is A inverse, is 2 by 2. And your second one, which is C, is 2 by 1. 2 rows by 1 column. We have to make sure that the number of columns in your first matrix is equal to the number of rows in your second matrix. So if you see the ones that I highlighted there, that is equal. So my resultant matrix when I multiply is going to be this here, which is 2 multiplied by 1. That means we have 2 rows. So when I am doing this, I will have E, right, and E here. That means it's 2 rows and it's 1 column. Now I'm going to put the order of this, not the order, the position of the matrix. This one is row 1 by column 1. This E here is row 2 by column 1. So we know that E11 is row 1 by column 1 and E21 is row 2 by column 1. This position here tells us what we have to multiply to get this element. I call it element, right? So to get this first element here, I'm multiplying your first row, which is minus 4757, by a first column, right? So it's minus 4 over 7 by 24. Then we go to the next element, which is minus. So it'll be minus 4 over 7 by 24 plus 5 over 7 by 29. Right? So you always go to the next one. You never repeat. Right? And when you put all of this in your calculator, you're going to get 7. Then the next one is row 2, or your second row by your first column. So that's 3 over 7 by 24 plus minus 2 over 7 by 29. When you put this in your calculator, you're going to get 2. So if we know B is xy and you compare xy with 7 on top and 2 at the bottom, we can see that x is equal to 7 and y is equal to 2. Let's read number 2. Carla invests in a poultry farm business. She buys X number of chickens and Y number of ducklings. To set up her business, she must consider the following information in determining the number of each of those 2 birds that she must buy to ensure she gains maximum profit. Alright? The first option is using the information above. So they told you X is chickens, Y is ducklings, right? Using the information above, complete the table below by inserting the inequality that represents each of the restrictions. Right. The number of chicks must be at least twice the number of ducklings. So chicks is X, so X is more than or equal to 2Y. Alright, they already did this one all together. So if you add the number of chicks and add the number of ducks, she must buy more than 500. So it will be X plus Y is more than or equal to 500. Alright, and that is how you would do this. Part B, each chick costs $2. So one chick costs $2 and each duck costs $4, meaning one duck costs $4. The maximum amount of money Carla can spend is $1,400. Show that X plus 2Y is less than or equal to 700. So what you would do, if one chick is $2, then X chicks would be 2 by X, which is 2X. If one duck is $4, then Y ducks would be Y multiplied by 4, which is 4Y. And when you add 2X and 4Y, again they said that she has to spend, the most that she could spend is $1,400. So it could be less than $1,400 or equal to $1,400. So 2X plus 4Y is less than or equal to $1,400, but we want it in this form here, right? They did say that. If you look at your coefficient of X, how would you go from 2X to X? We simply divide this entire thing by 2. So 2X divided by 2 is X. 4X divided by 2 is 2Y. Sorry, 4Y divided by 2 is 2Y. And 1,400 divided by 2 is 700. And that is how you show that this equation is equal to what the information given. Let's read. So they said the line y is equals to 80 is drawn already. So that is this black line here. They have y is equals to 80. On the grid below, draw the 3 lines associated with the inequalities in A and B. Label as R the required region which satisfies all 4 inequalities. Alright, so I put the 3. I have X plus Y is more than or equal to 500. X is more than or equal to 2Y. Y is more than or equal to 80. X plus 2Y is less than or equal to 700. However, when you are plotting lines, you don't have more than or equal to. So these signs now change to equal. So I'm going to be plotting X plus Y is equals to 500. X is equals to 2Y. Y is equals to 80. Well, Y is equals to 80 is already plotted. And X plus 2Y is equals to 700. Now, for a question like this, X plus Y is equals to 500. To obtain any line The most amount of points that you would want is 2 points, right? So what I would do, and what I usually do, is if I have x plus y is equals to 500, I would let x be equals to 0 and find out what y is equals to. So you're substituting x is equals to 0. So that's 0 plus y is equals to 500. So y is equals to 500, right? Then, so the point that is given with this coordinates here would be 0, 500. So you plot that first. 0, 500, that is on your x-axis. No, sorry. That's on your y-axis. X is equals to 0 on your y-axis. So that's this coordinate right here. Then x plus y is equals to 500. You're going to let y be equals to 0. Alright, you put it in the equation. That's x plus 0 is equals to 500. So x is equals to 500 and y is equals to 0. Y is equals to 0 on your x-axis. So this is the coordinate here. And you simply draw that line. Yeah? Then x is equals to 2y. You let x be equals to 0. So therefore y is equals to 0. Alright, so the first coordinate is 0, 0. And then what you would do here is look for the largest value of x. The largest value of x is 700. So when x is 700, what is y equal to? You substitute it, so you'll know 700 is equals to 2y. So y would be 700 divided by 2, so y is 350. So the coordinate here would be 700, 350. Right, that is this coordinate here. So, and then you connect that line. I did it in colors so that you guys could see it, right? Then we have x plus 2y is equals to 700. Same thing that we did for this here, for the red line. You're going to let x be equals to 0, see what y is equals to, and then let y be equals to 0 and see what x is equals to. So, when we let x be equals to 0, we got y is 350, and when y was equals to 0, x, hold on. When y was equals to 0, x was equals to 700. Plot those points, that is my purple line. So when x is equals to, when x is equals to 0, that's on your y-axis. So that's this coordinate here, 350 here. Right, and 0. And this coordinate here, y is equals to 0 and x is equals to 700. That is this coordinate right here. So now we are going to find R. This is the region that satisfies all 4 inequalities. So x plus y is less than or equal to 500. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose a value from x. That's not less than, that's more than. Right? You're going to choose a value from x. Let's say x was 400. What y would be equal to? We want values that is more than 500. So that is why my arrows are going after your 500. We're looking for values after 500. They told you that. More than or equal to 500. Then x is more than or equal to 2y. What you would do here is choose a value for x. Let's say x was equal to 100. Right? What y would be equal to? Y would be equals to 50. Because it's 2y, right? Yeah. 50. Right? Where is y equals to 50? Y is equals to 50. Not above in this area. It would be below in this area here. So you do the same thing. So you're going to choose like x equal to 700. Then y equals to 350, which is what we found already. That is not above our blue line, it is below our blue line. So we're looking at the values below here. We're going to use this one. X plus 2y is equals to 700. You use a value for x. Let's say x is equal to 300. So 300 plus 2y is, we want, is it more than or less than? I believe this is less than. Yep. Less than or equal to 300. not 300, 700. Right, so that is 2y would be equal to 700 divided by 2, which is 2x is equal to, no, sorry, y is equal to 350. Alright, so if you look at that, it is not showing it is going to be in this direction or below 350. It would not be above 350. So the direction that this purple line, or x plus 2y, is going to be underneath this purple line. So, and then they say the black line was x is more than, sorry, y is more than 80, that is pointing upwards. So the direction that all of this intersects each other is this here, this region that is shaded in green, right? Part D says the average weight of a chicken at a time harvest is 2.75. That means one chicken is 2.75 and one duck is 2.28, right? The current market trend indicates that selling price, right? So we said a duck is $2.28. Then they said the current market trend indicates that the selling price per kilogram, meaning 1 kilogram of chicken is $11 and 1 kilogram of duck is $12.50. So if we know for a chicken, right, 1 kilogram is $11, then $2.75, sorry, 2.75 kilograms would be 11 times 2.75, which is 30.25. So one chicken is have an average weight of 30.25. You do the same thing for duck. One duck is $12.50, so 2.28 kilograms of duck would be $20.50. Right now, they ask you for, assuming the information I given above holds true, write an equation in x and y that represents Carla's total. What does total mean? You're adding up everything. Sales when she sells X chickens and Y ducks. We know one chicken is 30.25 and one duck is 20.50. So X chickens would be 30.25X and Y ducks would be 20.5Y. So your total would be, you're adding up these two values, and that is how you would do this question. Alright, this question here, you have to use a graph, okay? Given that none of the birds died prior to harvesting, advise Carla on the number of chickens and ducks that she must yield for your maximum sale. So what you would do when they ask you for your maximum sale, that means they want to know that where all these inequalities intersect, that is this R region here. So you would take the vertices of each the vertices of each of them, each vertex, that's with more than when two lines intersect, right? So this region here, this point here, this point here, this point here, I already found out those points. One of the points is 35,170 when x was 350, sorry, when x was 350, y was 170. When x was 325, y was 160, I believe. Yeah. Right. Then we have 420. Where did I get 420 from? Here. This is 420. X is 80. And when this region here, when you go down, you'll get 5. How much it is? 540 or 530. Right, when this coordinate here is 530, y was equals to 80. Now, how did I find that? I use my if then and therefore method. Why am I using my if then and therefore method? If 5 spaces is equals to 50, then one space would be 50 divided by 5, which is 10. So each little box is 10, right? And for same thing for your x-axis. Right, so now we have the number of chickens and the number of ducks, but we want to find the maximum sale, meaning we're going to find out for how much for 350 chickens and 170 duck, right? That's 350 multiplied by the cost of chicken, which they said was $11, right? So it would be 350 multiplied by 11 is $10,587.50, and 170 ducks would be 170 multiplied by 1250, right? And you do that for the rest for each vertice, and then you find your total. Now your total would be your maximum sales, which would be 530 ducks and 530 chickens and 80 ducks. You're getting a total of $17,672.50, and that's for 530 chickens and 80 ducks. That is the end of January 2022.